Alright, let's just hope there's no puke in the bin or anything like that. This is not actually in the bin. It's there. On my first attempt at this, I didn't actually notice those until after I'd messed around with this, but whatever. It's not really that interesting. So I'm back here at Elm's lab because we now have the second plate, the toxic plate. That would be nice. I'm not entirely sure if the toxic plate does a better boost than the poison barb. I'll have to look that up at some point off screen, but this is actually my third time trying this segment. The first time I just sort of ran out of shit to say, like usual, and then the second, I'll explain what I'll explain what caused the second one to fail pretty soon here. But I actually want to mention for now, the reason I'm not actually cutting this out and going back to somewhere is because in that previous attempt, I decided to try to go east and see what the opening area of Kanto had for me. It had level 40 Weasels in it, so I decided no, that just wasn't going to happen. I came across Entei, but now that I've scrapped that segment, I have not actually registered Entei as having been encountered at all in this playthrough, so I've got to wait ever so patiently until he decides to show up at some point. And I was also going into Olivine City. Okay, now that was... I'm getting confused again here. Okay. I was going to Olivine City, I was talking to some people, I talked to this random nurse character, and found out that she was doing something very, very weird, which actually caused me to scrap the segment after about 23 minutes of recording, which pisses me off a considerable amount. But before I do that, I want to go back to the Pokemon playthrough I talked about yesterday, because I did a really, really shitty job of explaining it, and I was watching the first segment of the Last Impact LP that just started today, and I went and did a bit of fargoing around with that playthrough, and now that I have a fresh sort of memory on it, I can clarify a few things. I wanted to just sort of address it and fix up that whole explanation that I did yesterday. The first thing I should point out is that all of my Pokemon have actually got their hidden abilities. I really should have made this clear, because they all came from the Dream World, so they would have all inherently had their hidden abilities. They actually, maybe one or two might not have. I think I might have actually specifically gone after hidden abilities for a certain few. It would make sense, because some of their original ones are just pretty shit. So I'll go through the abilities now. My Slugma, which has since evolved into a Magcargo, it has Shell Armor for its hidden ability, which drops its defense but pluses its speed whenever it takes a physical attack. My Nidoqueen, which is not actually a Nidoqueen, it's actually still only a Nidorina, the one called Katana, she's got Hustle, which is a plus attack power but decreases accuracy. This did come back to bite me against this one particular trainer in... who do you call it? In the 7th gym, because I missed with Super Fang like 3 times. Actually, no, I missed twice in a row. Eventually did connect and managed to knock it out. But, it was a minor annoyance, but it's fine. The reason I didn't evolve it is because I took a look at its level up move pool and found that it learned a Crunch at 43. So that was probably the most likely reason as to why I hadn't evolved it yet. I'm assuming that I have the Moonstone ready to go. I just don't know if I just wasn't aware that... whatever. It's my past self keeping things in check. I kind of wonder if my past self did some stupid things. Only real thing that I was thinking I probably could have done is maybe put Toxic Spikes on her. She got it at 35, but I obviously skipped out on that. Probably because she's also my cutter. She's got Kite, which is very annoying. I'm hoping that I'm not too far away from the move deleter. I think it's either on the 6th or 7th city, maybe the 8th. I can't quite remember for the life of me. But that was a bit of a thing. My Luxray I wanted to talk about in a bit more detail, because I just sort of said, it's a Luxray, does what Luxray does. This Luxray is actually interesting because I'm actually pissed off that I forgot its nickname because it's actually the obligatory Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference on the team. I named it Ryo after Thunder King Ryo. And it's actually got Magnet Rise. I don't know why it's there, aside from, obviously, you know, just dodging ground moves and stuff like that. It's got Charge and Thunder Fang, which makes a nice little combo, which I thought was pretty cool. Aside from that, it has Guts as its ability, so if it gets a status, it gains attack power. Then there was the Ludicolo. It's got Own Tempo, which just prevents confusion. Not that interesting, but I don't think it even gets any of those moves that cause confusion after X amount of turns. Like, I don't even think it gets Thrash. So that's just generally an uninteresting thing. At the very least, Team Plasma's got a lot of Watchhogs, and they like to use Confuse Ray. I can just sort of say no to that if I use my Ludicolo. So that's at least a nice thing, but then they'll probably have Hypnosis or something to put me to sleep, which will be obnoxious in its own way, but whatever. I then had Matoga Kiss, which does not actually have Serene Grace. Its hidden ability is Super Luck, so it actually has that. That increases its crit rate. I don't have anything that actually has an increased crit rate normally. The moveset is Fly, Extreme Speed, Aura Sphere, and Air Slash. Obviously, the two main attacking moves there are Air Slash and Aura Sphere. Extreme Speed's just there for pretty much the same purpose as Ice Shard is on Talia. I remember getting that Tauros that you saw earlier down to like really low HP, and I just sort of took the priority because it outsped me, and so I just used Ice Shard to kill it and took the priority off it. Now, my approach for this Miltank, just as a side note here, this thing can use Bide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paralyze it. I'm expecting it to go with Bide first up, unless it's got Rollout, in which case it'll probably pick that. I'll outspeed it, because I think Bide actually gets the priority like it does in Gen 6. I don't know when it actually gets that priority, if it's Gen 5 or 6, but it does sort of take the first move like that. So, Body Slam. Yeah, I'll go with Air Slash, see what happens. Air Slash is slightly more powerful. I might be able to get a Flinch Axe as well. Oh no, there's the Rollout. If I take this, which I quite easily do, I'll drop the Miltank on the second Air Slash. Anyways, now that's out of the way. The last Pokemon I had to talk about was my Pupitar. I actually wonder now if I talked about it in the previous attempt of the segment. If I didn't, then that would have been very upsetting. But it has Shed Skin instead of whatever it has as a Pupitar. I mean, it gets Sand Warning normally as Sandstream. No, I was thinking of Snow Warning. Yeah, it gets Sandstream normally as a Tyranitar, but its hidden ability as a Tyranitar is Unnerve. I think the only reason I didn't want the Sandstorm is because I didn't want to have to Sandstorm and sort of deal with that sort of shit like harming my Pokemon. I don't see any real reason as to why I shouldn't have had it, because it was like I now have a Slugma. Like I now have my Magcargo. So that's gonna not take any damage from Sandstorm either. But I guess I guess since I still maintain that I'm not gonna actually get it to evolve into a Tyranitar until the post game, then I guess that's just like better to have the hidden ability, because I think the other one's like, I can't even remember what the regular ability of Pupitar even is, but it's got Shed Skin as its hidden ability, so I decided to stick with that since it's going to spend the bulk of the playthrough in that form, so stuck with that. I was content with it, I suppose. Wasn't too bad. I believe that's all of them. I think I talked about Togekiss, Luxray, Katana. Yeah, I talked about all 6 of them. Okay, now I feel a bit more vindicated about that playthrough. I kind of wonder now if I should talk about another playthrough at some point, but we are not too far away from the reason that I had to scrap the previous attempt at the segment, and it's a very, very dumb one, because like I said, it's not actually meant to be in the game. But until then, I'm probably not going to have anything to talk about. Actually, no, I do. Because the last time I was up against this Clefable, and I was mentioning that there was actually another version of this game. Not one by Drayano. It was basically just the core game itself, but somebody was able to implement the fairy type into it. As far as I'm aware, I didn't really see anything that said that there was like any new moves added though. If that's the case, then I'm probably not going to switch the mod over to that version, because most of the good fairy type moves were implemented in Gen 6, like the Moonblast, the Dazzling Gleam, and the Play Rough. And so if I don't have access to that, then fairy just becomes it just sort of exists. You don't really get much in the way of stab off it anyway, because I think the only real moves that I can think up off the top of my head that have the fairy typing, I know Moonlight is fairy. I actually don't know if there's anything else as of Gen 4 that became fairy in Gen 6. I'd have to look that stuff up. Okay, yeah, he did talk about Slowpoke, because I used the Slowpoke earlier. And Tentacruel, because that's on my team. Random thing that I felt like pointing out there, I guess. So, there you go. One more trainer. You'll notice that fellow that I just knocked over had the entire Clefairy line. She follows the same sort of gimmick here. Instead, she has the Jigglypuff line. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to smash this thing for 6. This thing did not use Sweet Kiss, it actually used Petal Dance when I fought it on the previous attempt. It was very just sort of random and out there, but whatever. Jigglypuff, I remember paralyzing it first up, but there was no real reason to do that, except for the fact that it just disabled me, and this thing has a decent amount of HP. It's fine, I can work my way around that. And then Wigglytuff, I'll stay in just so I can bait and switch. I bait and switched into Trap Tricks last time. I'll go with Talia this time just because I felt like being different. Do I have an Awakening? No, I don't. I have healing items for every single status except for the one that I currently have right now. That's obnoxious. And Frost Hacks. Damn it. Yeah, there we go. Freeze working the way that it normally does. Immediately thaws out. Fuck off, Freeze. I feel like Freeze needs to be reworked. Also, Rival. He's sort of there. This event is actually not changed because, yeah, he just sort of pisses off, doesn't fight you. I threw a save state earlier because I thought that Lyra would just sort of randomly come out and challenge me to a fight. It would sound like a pretty dick move to do that, but whatever, it didn't happen. Anyways, we're in the Olivine Pokemon Center now, and so I can talk about the reason I lost the previous attempt of this segment. I'm going to go ahead and throw a save state here, and I'm going to talk to this random person. She asks Kimono Girl in front of Dance Theater. Did I knock the Kimono Girl in front of... I don't know. I'm going to randomly say yes to this. Have you finished the lighthouse? No. Flag set. And then she just disappears. I did a little bit of research and found that this person, Drayano actually forgot to take her out of the game. The whole purpose that she serves is to basically skip through parts of the game, and since I didn't want to do that, I kind of tried to get myself into a position where I just didn't have to do that. The problem was, the last time I played, I did this segment, I save stated right when she was asking the first question, and so I basically got screwed out of it. So, we're going to go ahead and reload the save state, and we're going to completely ignore her, because her only real purpose is to break the damn game. Just about. So I'm just going to ignore that. That's cool. I was... Right. Sure, why not? Oh, Bellossom, that's cool. That is not a 4th gen sprite, I can tell you that right now, that is definitely 5th gen. Let's hit this thing with paralysis, and then maybe smash it with Dragon Rage. That's respectable, I guess. Oh, so damn close. Almost level 30. Yeah, I don't even think I have, like, a seal case or anything like that to do that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't have the option to do that yet. I don't know where you get that, but... Okay. I think the only other thing that I talked about in the previous segment that I wanted to talk about was back in this route. I'm only going over here so I can knock a Pokemon over to give Dratini his level up, Kaiser his level up, so it can evolve. Ponyta should not be that difficult to knock over. Except Flinch Hack's the thing. Yeah, I made a point to actually catch a Skitty in this area, because between the two routes, there's only one Pokemon that's nighttime exclusive, and that's Skitty. So I wanted to pick one of those up at nighttime so I didn't have to worry about it any other time. I forgot to do that. I also wanted to pick up a Noctowl, because there's actually an in-game trade over at the... As I switch this up a bit. Where is it? There we go, that's a bit better. There's an in-game trade up at the 5th floor of the Goldenrod department store. He wants a... It's just some fat guy sitting on a couch. He wants a Noctowl and he will give you a Torkoal for it. I don't have any real reason to show that off because I can already tell you that as soon as it's done, you're just going to get another Covenant Orb out of it. But I figured I might as well do it anyway, just for the sake of completion more than anything else. I'd also like to point out that this is a really awesome overworld sprite that Dragonite has got. That is kind of cool. I think there's some hidden items that you can't even reach. Yeah, that one obviously needs rock climb, so I can't get that until I've got all the badges. And that's all 16 badges, not just all 8. And I think the only other things to talk about in this city are this place. He gives the good rod. And then I think this person tells you about strength. Tells you where you can get it. In the original... Belch. Pardon me. In the original Gold and Silver, you would get the strength HM from here by talking to a random sailor. They moved it for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. For whatever reason. So I think that is about it. Nah, whatever. I never usually take up those photo opportunities. So I guess, if anything, I could probably look up and see if there's anything that I can catch now with the good rod. I kind of have to go and backtrack. I'll do that off screen, though. I am not too sure if I want to do the lighthouse or if I want to go through the routes. I'm gonna have a quick peek at Route 40 first, just because there's probably something there that's relevant to my interests. And one of the other reasons I wanted to get to this part in yesterday's segment is because I happen to remember by memory that this is where Monica of Monday is, and I wanted to sort of show that off. And while I'm on that subject, I don't think I ever actually mentioned it, but I have a Hardstone here. This was given to me by Arthur of Thursday. I believe he was on Route 36. I just sort of picked it up off screen, and I don't think I ever actually mentioned that I got that. So, there's Cameron again. Up here's the entrance to the Battle Frontier, which you obviously cannot enter. Yeah, that's kind of cool, I guess. The Battle Frontier is now accessible once you have beaten the Olivine Gym, so I'll probably be having a look at that once I've knocked Jasmine over later on in the playthrough. In the meantime, though, there is one thing about the seas in this route that is actually piquing my interest, and it is most certainly not Tentacool. So what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look up the Pokemon locations list here. I need to go to Route 40. Yeah, it's either on Route 40 or 41. I'm not entirely sure if I can Repel Trick using Flufin, because I imagine that there's probably a bunch of level 30 Pokemon in here normally. But we'll have to see what happens. Oh, okay. Should probably move back and forth between this. If that guy looks up and tries to challenge me, then I guess I'll fight him, but I don't really have any real reason to do so. So there's the Wingull, which I'll have to pick up at some point. I'll probably pick one up as soon as I encounter another one. According to this, it's the most common thing in this area, but I keep finding nothing but Tentacools, which is a bit awkward. Alright, so let's go ahead and nab this stupid thing. That's cool, I guess. Apparently you can also find Pelipper here, and Tentacruel, which is kind of cool. But there is actually one other thing that you can encounter here, which is the subject of my interest in this area as of right now. The problem, however, is that it is only a 2% encounter. I'm kind of wondering if there is anything in here that goes above level 30, in which case I might actually just repel Trick and leave with Flooffin in order to encounter it. It does not seem to be the case, so what I think I will do, I will try that strategy. I will throw a save state. I'll throw it in slot 6 just to be different, because I want to at least have a backup in case this segment just sort of goes down the drain for whatever reason. Open up a repel, and then see if we are lucky enough to encounter what I'm looking for. Probably not. Okay, well there that goes. I am not too... whatever. I was going to save state and just sort of reload, but whatever. I have a decent amount of money now. I can afford some super repels. Here we go. Oh, no. Damn it. Okay, I will stick with this trick because I've come across... Okay, no. We're not going to stick with this trick because it's not working that well. I've at least come across a Pelipper though, so I can sort of catch... Or I can try to catch this. Oh fuck, you've got Roost. Damn it, you've got Roost. Oh, that sucks. Okay, fine. Thunderwave? No. Thunderwave, thank you. Alright, catch it. No, catch it. No, catch it. No, catch it. Just get in the damn ball, please. Okay, that was far more obnoxious than it had any right to be. In that case, I'm just going to have to go ahead and heal. And then I will cut back once I have come across either that Pokemon that is relevant to my interests, or, heaven forbid, a shiny. God, please don't let me run into a shiny Tentacool here. That's going to suck so bad. Well, so much for that. I just spent the last 10 minutes trying to find it, and it did not show up at all. I also found out that the repel trick was actually useless because the Pokemon in question can only be encountered at level 30. And since all of the other Pokemon have level ranges that include level 30, you can't repel trick for this thing at all. So you pretty much have to luck out and hit the 2% rate. I somehow failed to do that. I reckon I made well, pretty damn close to 100 encounters. And despite being a 1 in 50 shot, I just didn't get the luck. It unfortunately didn't happen. So I'm going to have to try to encounter it at some point, either off screen or maybe just to start tomorrow's segment. I don't know. But we're going to go ahead and talk to this person here because she's going to tell us about what it is that I was actually looking for. So yeah, you can find Fiona here. And if you bring her a Fiona, she will give you a gift. Unfortunately, the Fiona decided it didn't want to show up for me here today, so no gift. And she will just remain randomly depressed. So that's quite unfortunate. I have absolutely no idea how long this segment is going on for, so I imagine the next course of action for now is going to be to go through routes 40 and 41, knock the trainers over on there, and I'm going to be doing it sped up, and we'll probably be doing some kind of post-commentary on that. So this would be around about the point where I start speeding it up, I guess, once I've picked out what I'm going to be leading with. I might as well lead with Trap Trick since him and Taylor are the lowest level. Okay, I will talk to you at some point later on, once I'm actually done recording this stupid segment. I'm not even gonna give that in a moment's thought. Just speed up. Go. Alright, I think that's about all of the trainers. So now that I've made it to Cianwood City, might as well do a little bit of exploration of the town. I don't plan on going back until I've knocked the gym leader over here, so... this random dipshit has the medicine for that random Ampharos in the thing. That person just has things. I know there's a house here with a guy that gives you a free shuckle. I think it's that guy. I'm not going to talk to him yet, because I don't really want a free fuckle at all. What do you do? Okay. You're not particularly interesting. Oh, I can talk to you, actually. Because I think you actually give me something. I think it might actually be a Pokemon. Let me go ahead and drop something off into the PC. Yeah, I'm just dropping you off. You might not even need that Quick Claw anymore, actually, now that I think about it. That evolution should have given you a solid enough boost in speed. We'll see what happens once I'm done here. Let me go ahead and throw a save state. She does not actually identify herself here, but this is actually Lady Caitlin from the Battlefront here, and also the member, the psychic user of the Elite Four in Unova. And what happens here is, if you are leading with a Pokemon that has maximum amount of happiness, she will give you this random Pikachu. And this Pikachu is unique in that it has both Surf and Fly. So there you go. It's not got a very good nature though for using Surf, or Thunderbolt for that matter. It also for some reason has Wish. But I have at least got a Fly Slave, although it's probably one of the more unusual Fly Slaves, because this thing has absolutely no reason to fly. So let's go ahead and pop you in the PC right there. You can just sort of chill out there and sort of exist, I guess. It means I don't have to use the HM2 to teach anything to anybody. Obviously, because I can't teach it to anybody on my team, nor do I actually intend to. I still don't have a Tropius as of yet, so I guess the Pikachu's going to have to serve as my Fly Slave until then. I'm going to go ahead and ignore the very obvious thing up in that corner there and talk to these random idiots. Move Relearner. Okay. You might be useful later on, and you are the move deleter. These two fellows were originally in Blackthorn City, and now they've been moved here, I guess. I don't think I paid much attention to anything in the documents that stated this, so I'm quite happy about that. I don't believe there's anything on any of these movesets that need forgetting. I'll have a quick look. Nope, nope, no, 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 no. Also, you're still like the second slowest Pokemon on this team. So yeah, actually, no. Whatever. No, you can keep the Quick Claw for now. I'm not going to randomly decide because I don't know what the hell to do here. I imagine I'm probably going to get a Shuckle out of those rocks. I will probably do that later on. But I guess there is one more thing that I have to do here. So let me go ahead and make sure all my Pokemon are fully healed. I should have enough healing items and stuff like that. I might be able to get something from here, actually. Waiting for supplies. Okay, so I can't actually do anything unless I go back to the Pokemon in Olivine, so I'm not going to bother with that. What we're going to do instead is we're going to go and trigger this event because it, as you may remember, triggers a battle. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a save state here. So here be Suicune. It just sort of hops around like a freaking quadrupedal blue kangaroo looking motherfucker thing and just sort of fucks off. And then UC's just like, oh my god, you saw Suicune, but I didn't. So I'm just going to fight you because apparently if I can beat you, then I become Suicune's chosen one, or for some stupid fucking reason. His hair is stupid. I don't know why Suicune would pick him as the chosen one, but yeah, that Hypno is considerably high leveled. And I'm outsped by it. Thankfully, Focus Miss. Because Focus Miss. Ice Beam did not do anywhere near as much as it should have. And there goes Talia. Wow. I'm astounded that Talia tanked that. Okay, so that speed drop should hopefully get me over it with Ice Beam. Frosty March. Okay, so I got through that Hypno. I didn't really have much of a right to knock that Hypno over with Talia, but it happened. Rotom. Do I want to go with a mirror match here? I don't know what form of Rotom it is. I literally do not know what form of Rotom it is. So I'm going to go with my own Rotom and see how shitty a position I am in. Okay, it's the base form. I'm in a good position here because I can hit it with Ominous Wind. And and I outspeed it, so I'm in a decent position. Double Team can be obnoxious. I've got Shockwave to counteract that, but I'll try to hit it with another Ominous Wind. Okay, there it goes. Alright, so there goes Rotom. And now here comes the Electrode. If my Rotom was still Ghost type, I would probably switch into it to tank him. I just assume that Electrode will blow up whenever I fight one, so I'm just going to go with Trap Tricks. I'm going to go with Bullet Seed. I don't think it's got very good physical defense, unless it goes for the Reflect first up. I'll try to put it to sleep. It's going to screech at me. Okay. I don't mind that in the slightest, because it's just going to stay asleep and I should be able to do it. I don't do anywhere near as much damage as I should with that Bullet Seed, and I only hit twice on that occasion. And I hit twice on that occasion as well. Thankfully, it stays asleep for more than the one turn, which is unusual. And I knock it out. So far, this fight has been... I've had a bit of luck, but for the most part, it's been reasonably simple. And Jumpluff. Okay, Talia is obviously the best suited to deal with that Jumpluff, but I'm going to go into Jelly Cup anyway. I'm going to see what Acid does to it. Okay, it's going to use Leech Seed. It's going to set up that sort of stuff. I will take this opportunity then to heal Talia. See what happens there. Reflect is fine because I'm going to use Ice Beam to murder it anyway. So I guess I'm just going to sort of sit here and try to Acid this thing to death. I might not even need to use Talia for this. I'm probably... Yeah. I figured I'd get knocked out there, but that means I could just bring Talia in and kill it with Ice Shard. Even with Reflect up, that should take care of it. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, that wasn't too terrible. Uh-huh. That's cool, I guess. Any hidden items around the place? Well, that's hidden behind a Rock Smash Rock, which sucks. Are there any others? Should be. Yeah, here it is. Figured I might as well look for hidden items at the beach. It only makes sense. Stardust, I can tell that for okay. Alright. That's about it then. I will probably do some rock smashing with whatever I have designated as my Rock Smash Slave next time, and then... Well, no, not next time. I'll do that off screen, and then next time I will be fighting the Fighting Gym Leader. That sounded a bit more redundant than it should have been. Oh well. Longest raw recording so far. This is coming in over 52 minutes. It's probably going to end up getting cut down to about 40, because a good 10 of it's going to disappear because of my failed attempt at fighting a Fion. Alright, I will see you tomorrow. It has arrived! The, I don't know, legend of, like, just can't fucking show up or anything like that has finally been found. And of course it has to be about as far away from the goal that I needed to show it to as it possibly fucking could, because it's just off the coast of Seahamwood City in Route 41. So, yeah, as you can see, it is level 30. There's the evidence right there that I couldn't repel trick it. Fucking thing outspeeds me, of course, because it has to be that kind of obnoxious get. Let's go ahead and throw a save state here and see if I can fucking catch this stupid thing. I checked the catch rate of it. It has a catch rate of 30. I kind of thought it was either going to be 45 or 3. I'd rather take 30 over 3, though, without a shadow of a doubt. So I'm going to go ahead and put this thing to sleep, and hopefully I can nab this thing as it is. Yep, first ball. Okay, it has been caught. So now all I get to do is encounter another Phione. Yay. We fail to encounter the damn thing, and then we find 2 of them back to back. Fan-fucking-tastic. How beautiful. So now that we have this stupid thing, this actually gives me an opportunity to show off the haul that I've picked up off screen since the end of the main chunk of the segment. Found all this sort of stuff. Most of these were through Good Run stuff. Like, this was found through Rock Smash. That's Rock Smash. That's Rods. That's Surfing. That's Rod. That's Route 39 and 38 and all that sort of stuff. Luxio's exclusive to Route 38. This is on Route 35. It has a 100% chance of getting a heart scale. And you can actually get the Thief Tam from somebody in Azalea Town. So I might go and grab a Yanma, give it Thief, and then let it just steal a whole bunch of heart scales. Also Gyarados in Ilex Forest for some reason. Anyways, let's go ahead and grab out the Phione because I need to show off one more thing before I actually bring this segment to its proper close. And I probably should set up a repel here, actually. Because if anything, it at least decreases my chances of finding wild Pokemon here. Not that I won't ever find wild Pokemon here, because there are level 35s here, but I was able to get here without encountering a single thing. So, nope, that's not what we want. Okay, I guess we gotta leave with the Phione. Same thing with the stupid Togepi. Yep, there it is. And while we're on the subject of heart scales, she will give you 5 of them for showing her this Phione. So, I have caught everything in these waters, except for the stuff that the Super Rod is needed for, but obviously that's not for a while. I've gone and caught a bunch of other stuff that I hadn't caught yet. And so I guess the only haul that I really have to show off next time will be the stuff that I get through the Meridian Sound, because that's back on active tomorrow. In the meantime, I will go ahead and put this back in here. Don't know why I felt the need to show that off, but there you go. The segment is over for real now. There may be a chance that it's going to start tomorrow with me capturing one of the legendary beasts, because I've actually weakened both of them and got them asleep, so who knows. I'll see you tomorrow, even though I've already said that, but yeah, whatever. See you next time.